Highlands High School boys baseball team. The Mustangs take on the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupé, and welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupé. We'll be back with the lineups for both teams after these messages.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer.
Welcome back to Tom Lamon Field here on the campus at Laurel Highlands. We're just about ready for high school baseball action on WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network. Here are the starting lineups for the visiting Woodland Hills team coming in to this afternoon's game. Number 1, Andrew Whitehurst, the pitcher, will lead off. Number 17, Charles Hatchett, will play left field. Number 7, Michael Whitehurst, batting third and playing center field. Number 3, Ben DeTore, he's the catcher, batting in the fourth spot. Batting fifth, number 15, Sheldon Johnson at third base. Batting sixth, number 10, Joe Ward, he will play first base. Batting seventh, number 11, Malachi Cunningham, he is playing right field. Batting eighth, number 9, Trey Fedak, he is playing shortstop. And batting ninth, number 8, Michael Horvath at second base.
Defensively for Laurel Highlands, Tanner Minio out in the left, Craig Lancaster in center, Richie Mihal getting the start in right field this afternoon, Nate Zimkoski playing third, Travis Sankovic playing short, Josh Burns, the second baseman, Ian Edenfield playing first, Mason McManus on the hill, and Chad Petrus catching for the Mustangs this afternoon. We're back with the first pitch in just a moment here on WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Here we go. We're about ready for the first pitch here. Overcast skies here at Tom Lamon Field. The forecast calls for a potential shower here throughout the afternoon. We'll hope we miss all that, Brian. But Mustangs coming in after another win, an impressive win again last night against Thomas Jefferson to stretch that record now to 9-0.
Yeah, 12-1 yesterday over the Jags. They're 9-0 in the conference, and a healthy lead atop the Section 3-5A standings. Gateway sitting a game and a half back at 8-2. Franklin Regional at 6-2. And Albert Gallatin actually holding down the fourth and final playoff spot in the conference at 3-3. Latrobe hipping at the Colonials' heels at 4-5. McKeesport at 2-7. Thomas Jefferson at 2-8, and the Wolverines, who we see here today, at 1-8. The Mustangs and their home lights here today. Red numbers, little blue trim. Woodland Hills, the more traditional away dark blues. White numbers trimmed in black with gray pants.
On the mound for the Mustangs, Mason McManus. And speaking to Coach DeBerry prior to the game, we may see a committee of pitchers here today for the Mustangs, trying to save some arms for the second half of the season.
It's going to be a busy week next week as well. The Mustangs with 5 games on the docket in 6 days.
Stepping in, Andrew Whitehurst, the pitcher.
Leading off the top of the first inning for Woodland Hills.
He's only a freshman.
And it looks like his brother is batting third, Michael. First pitch, shot at the second baseman, Burns. He short-hopped it, did not get it, and now had to throw behind the first baseman, Edenfield. So a little in-between hop was not able to be handled there by Josh Burns, and on at first with the error is Andrew Whitehurst leading off for Woodland Hills.
You mentioned two Whitehursts in the lineup. Their dad, Larry's actually the head coach of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And a good start here for Woodland Hills here against Laurel Highlands with Andrew Whitehurst, the freshman, getting on board.
Charles Hanchett.
Good lead out there at first. Charles Hanchett will step in, the left fielder. Swinging a curveball, gets away from Petrus, and that'll allow Whitehurst to scoot into second, putting a runner in scoring position early with no outs.
Coach DeBerry told me early on yesterday against Thomas Jefferson, the Mustangs weren't sharp but worked their way into the game, and once they got going, they ended up winning by 11. He was hoping for a better start here this afternoon, and so far Woodland Hills making a little hay in the top of the first inning.
0-1 pitch. There's a bunt down the third base line. That's a good bunt. Zimkowski's up with it and on to Edenfield. So good bunt there by Charles Hanchett. Moves the runner down to third. That in the form of Andrew Whitehurst. So on at third with just one out, and brother Michael coming to bat.
You mentioned Mason McManus on the hill for Laurel Highlands. This is his 4th appearance of the season, 3rd start. Enters play today with a 2-0 record. Comes in with 8 strikeouts, has walked 2. His ERA 1.82, so pretty impressive numbers for Mason on the mound.
And Michael batting from the left side. Looks at a breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike one.
Tony and I saw this Woodland Hills team against Laurel Highlands earlier in the season. That game was played at Woodland Hills, and this Wolverines team, plenty of speed as well.
Another breaking pitch right in front of the plate. That's a fair ball. Petrus onto Edenfield, and unable to advance down there at third was Andrew Whitehurst. That ball just died right in the batter's box in front of home plate. Did not even make it to the grass infield, and up with the nice play was the catcher for the Mustangs, Chad Petrus, and quickly 2 outs now.
Nice break there for the Mustangs. It allowed Laurel Highlands to hold Andrew Whitehurst down at third and record the second out of the inning with Ben Detour coming to the plate, the catcher.
So the cleanup man with an opportunity to try to push across Andrew Whitehurst down there at third. So Ben Detour batting from the right side. Wide stance in there at the plate. from the stretch. Mason McManus trying to work his way out of this mess. There's a fly ball to right field. Going over and in play. Unable to make the catch down there in right field was Richie Mihal off the end of his glove. And Detour will try to get into third, and he does with a triple, RBI triple for Ben Detour. Long way to run there for Rich Mihal. Looked like he did get there in time, but the ball just over his outstretched glove, off the end of his glove, actually puts Woodland Hills on top, 1-0.
And that ball hit right at Mihal. Is actually making his first start of the season for Laurel Highlands. And the Wolverines plating a run here in the top half of the first inning, which is being brought to you by Senior Life Uniontown.
That's going to bring up Sheldon Johnson with the same situation now, 2 outs and a man on third. Breaking pitch a little high, that time 1-0.
The Mustangs have gotten into funks at times this season where they've been a little bit slow in getting started, but once they get started, look out. We saw that against Greater Latrobe a couple of weeks back.
No hits for 3 innings and then 10 in 1 inning. Fastball, good smoke on that one. Foul back, 1-1.
Johnson was 0 for 3 against Laurel Highlands earlier on this season.
The Mustangs not accustomed to playing from behind, so trying to keep this close. And there's a pop-up to the right side. Edenfield going over, taking a look, but that's over the batting cage down the right field line. 1-2 the count now with 2 outs.
I mentioned the busy week next week. Laurel Highlands will travel to Greater Latrobe on Monday. That'll be under the lights at 7 o'clock. Travel to Franklin Regional on Tuesday. Home here against Gateway on Wednesday. Travel to AG on Friday. And then travel to Morgantown on Saturday.
Pitch from McManus, fouled back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. Good off-speed pitch there by Mason. Had Johnson out in front, but he did get a little piece of it. 1-2 pitch again. There's a shot again to right field for another RBI single. This time Sheldon Johnson, a ringing single to right field, plating Detour. I keep saying that wrong.
It's Detour. Detour. There you go.
D-E-T-O-R-R-E. Detour, just like the road sign.
Correct.
2-0 Woodland Hills.
Shows you never take any teams for granted in the conference. Still very early on, but Woodland Hills coming to play here today on the road. Entered this game on a 5-game losing streak.
So Joe Ward will get an opportunity, the first baseman, number 10 for Woodland Hills. Throw over to first base. Johnson back in easily.
Other conference games going on today. Albert Gallatin at Gateway, Franklin Regional at Thomas Jefferson, and Greater Latrobe at McKeesport.
McManus working from the stretch. Swing and a miss. 1 strike to Joe Ward. Mustang outfield playing shallow and straight away for the senior Ward. McManus trying to work his way out. Throw over again. Johnson back safely. Clouds coming in now, a little stronger from across the way. Curveball in the dirt.
They're calling for a chance of rain around 5 o'clock this afternoon. There may be some heavier showers later on this evening.
Ward had a thought to go after that one, but did hold up. 1-1 the count. McManus, fastball. There's a grounder down to third. Zimkowski, big hop on to Edenfield, and that will be the third out of the inning, but not before the Wolverines of Woodland Hills plate 2. Mustangs will get their chance with some work to do in the bottom of the first here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Coming to bat.
Many people unknowingly have chronic liver disease and discover it during routine blood testing. Possible causes include alcohol, hepatitis C, fatty liver, and iron overload. If left unchecked, this can lead to cirrhosis, or severe liver scarring. Offer the latest testing and treatment for chronic liver disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Right back here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network. The Mustangs coming to bat here in the bottom of the first, trailing 2-0.
Let's take a look at the Laurel Highlands batting order. Leading off and playing in center field, Greg Lancaster. Batting second and playing second base, Josh Burns. Travis Sankovic, the shortstop, batting third. In the cleanup spot, Mason McManus. He's on the hill. Ian Edenfield batting fifth and pitching. Nate Zimkowski batting sixth and playing third base. Chad Petrus is the catcher, batting seventh. Richie Mihal getting the start today in right field, batting eighth. And Tanner Minio playing in left field, batting ninth today for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs.
Defensively for
I was going to ask if you can read my handwriting well enough to read the defense.
Charles Hanchett out there in left field. Michael Whitehurst in center field. Malik Cunningham in right field. Around the infield at third base, Sheldon Johnson. Shortstop, Trey Fedak. Second baseman, Michael Horvath. First baseman, Joe Ward. On the mound, Andrew Whitehurst scored one of the runs for the Wolverines in the top of the first. And the catcher, Ben Detour.
If you look at Laurel Highlands, the way they've been hitting at the plate so far this season, like to see them jump on the freshmen here early on, Gary.
You would, and you have to wonder how they're going to react down 2 runs here early.
This bottom half of the first being brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976, regardless of your legal problem. Davis & Davis promises you personalized, friendly hometown service.
Lancaster steps in.
Leading up the bottom of the first inning for Laurel Highlands, number 2, Greg Lancaster.
Tries to bunt his way on the breaking pitch, fouls it back to the screen. So Lancaster trying to get runners on here early.
Lancaster, 5'8", 165 senior, as we said, playing center field today. Came into this game with a .258 average and 5 RBIs.
Average a little bit deceiving. He has really put the bat on the ball a lot this year from that leadoff spot. There's another foul back on the fastball. And the freshman Whitehurst showing some poise and some pretty good velocity on that fastball.
Obviously, he's a good player if he's starting in a varsity game as a freshman. I don't care what school you're playing for.
0-2 pitch on the way. Just misses, low and outside. Good spot for an 0-2 pitch.
And good movement on that one.
Shakes off a couple signs now. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So leadoff hitter for the Mustangs goes down on strikes. Just what the Wolverines were looking for.
And bring up Josh Burns, the 5'9", 165 senior second baseman. Committed about a week and a half ago to California University of Pennsylvania, entering this game with a .333 average and 14 RBIs on the season.
And of late has been hitting the ball a lot better than as he started this season, although he was not doing very bad then, but lately really tattooing the ball.
He's had some nice games as of late.
First pitch low and in the dirt, ball 1. There's a foul back to the right side.
You look at the meat of this Mustang lineup. Travis Sankovic still batting .690. Mason McManus, .594. Then you have Tanner Minio at the bottom of the lineup batting .579 with 16 RBIs. So plenty of punch in this Mustangs lineup.
There's a ground ball to short. Up with it smoothly and on to first for the out. That's Trey Fedak across the infield to Joe Ward. 2 up, 2 down for the Mustangs.
Last time out when these two teams played, Laurel Highlands played at least a run in every inning of that game. Scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, another run in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth, and 5 in the sixth to close it out 15-1.
Travis Sankovic.
Travis Sankovic steps in, and I think we're seeing a little bit of precipitation.
Yes, we are.
Fouled off to the right side. Drizzle coming straight down here at Tom Lamon Field.
One of the reasons we set up in the press box here today, down the first base line instead of our usual position down the third base line in front of the snack bar.
1 strike pitch on the way to Sankovic. That's in the dirt for a ball.
The only disadvantage for Gary and myself is we don't have a clear view of right field or the scoreboard. Just a little shower coming down right now, but enough, as Gary said, to bring the umbrellas out in the crowd.
On the TV side, looks like sparkles coming down.
Yes.
High and outside that time. 2-1 now. Travis trying to get something started with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Mustangs trailing 2-0. There's a pitch. That's way high. 3-1. Really not giving Travis much to hit.
Travis a homer and 11 RBIs so far this season. He's a 5'11", 170 senior. He mentioned entering this game with a .690 average through 9 games.
There's a fastball on the inside for the walk, and that will move Travis Sankovic down to first with Mason McManus coming to the plate.
McManus, a 6'3", 200-pound senior, batting .594 with 19 RBIs. Watch for maybe a little movement here on the base paths with Sank.
McManus.
That will force Whitehurst to work from the stretch as throw over to keep Sankovic close, has him diving back in safely as the rain starts to come down a little stronger.
For sure. Pretty good move there from the freshman on the hill.
There's a pitch. There's a shot into left field. A ripping single by McManus. Sankovic will round second, head to third. They're sending him to score, and he will score as that ball rattled around down in the corner. RBI double with 2 outs by Mason McManus. Cuts the lead now to 2-1.
20th RBI of the season for Mason. Runs scored for Sank. Mustangs back to within 1, and they'll bring out a courtesy runner here for the pitcher, Dylan Bonnet, to run, with Ian Edenfield coming to the plates.
With the runner in scoring position. So the Mustangs do plate one after 2 outs in the inning.
A little timeout here from the referees. Umpires.
Not sure what the conference is about. Maybe something to do with the courtesy runner, I would imagine. That's the only thing that changed.
I thought Bonnet checked in. McManus on the hill. Shouldn't be an issue. Routine situation we see all the time here in high school baseball games. A pretty steady rain coming down here at Landman Field, and Bonnet couple step lead off second with Edenfield at the plates.
Whitehurst from the stretch to Edenfield. Breaking pitch, called a strike. Little low knees there for Edenfield that time.
He thought it was a little low. Umpire saw it a different way.
Wind picking up also with the rain. 0-1 pitch to Ian. Fastball just misses inside, 1-1.
Edenfield, a 6'4", 230 senior, 333 average, entering this game with 10 RBIs, playing first base here today with Mason on the hill.
Both shortstop and second base holding on. There's a shot into right field. That may score the tying run. Johnson bobbles it, and coming around to score the tying run is the courtesy runner, Dylan Bonnet. RBI single for Ian Edenfield, ties it at 2.
The Mustang bats didn't take long to knot this game back up, and now you'll have Nate Zimkoski, another sophomore that's hitting the cover off the ball, coming to the plate. 5'10", 145 sophomore, batting .421 with a homer and 13 RBIs.
Edenfield on at first. Breaking pitch in the dirt for ball 1 to Zimkoski. Johnson was playing very shallow in right field on that hard hit ball by Edenfield. Would have had a play at the plate had he not bobbled the hard hit ball. Zimkoski looks at ball 2, and Whitehurst kind of looking in like, where was that one? He's looking to the coach. He's looking back and forth. It did look like a strike from here, but we're not behind the plate.
That's for sure. I wonder how much the rain's affecting things as well for Whitehurst right now on the mound.
2-0 pitch. Taking a rip at it that time was Zimkoski. Fouls it to the left side.
It's coming down pretty good, but the sky's still pretty bright. You'd have to think this is pretty much a scattered shower. I'd expect things to maybe clear up here in a little bit. It's not like we have a dark gray sky with no clearing on the horizon.
We'll have to have Nick look at the radar in between innings.
Try to pull it up right now.
Two balls and one strike. Edenfield almost picked off. Ball was in the dirt to the first baseman. Had him leaning, but he does get back in safely.
Doesn't look too bad right now, Gary. Just an isolated shower. There is some clearing about 5 or 10 miles out. Expect this to stop rather soon.
It is brightening as we speak. There's a pitch low for ball 3. Already have Whitehurst at 20 pitches here in the first inning.
After retired Lancaster and Burns to start things off, the Mustangs have really done some damage here with 2 outs.
There's a ground ball down third. DeBerry makes no effort at it.
That's
Off the screen.
Head coach Scott DeBerry coaching third. Mike Smith coaching first once again today for Laurel Highlands.
Runs the count full at 3-2. That'll allow Edenfield to take off. Make sure that Whitehurst goes to the plate. Anything in the gap might allow him to score. Playing very shallow out there in center and right.
Andrew taking his time now on the mound.
Ball 4 outside to Zimkowski. So now runners on first and second in the form of Ian Edenfield and Nate Zimkowski brings up the catcher Chad Petrus with an opportunity. Another runner in scoring position for the Mustangs, who have tied things here at 2 in the bottom of the first.
Well, how things change in a hurry.
Number 13, Chad Petrus.
Petrus, the 7th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the first.
Takes ball 1 high and inside. Long inning here with just 2 runs in. But as you said, 7th batter to the plate as the rain starts to come down a little heavier again. Ball's inside, 2-0. Fans scurrying for cover up on the bank as it is now really coming down. There's another drive down to third, knocked down beautifully there by the third baseman, Sheldon Johnson, on a hard-hit ball that would have scored another run, but the Mustangs do plate 2, tie things at 2 here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Second, we are tied at 2.
Every person who's been injured, when they come in, has an expectation that their case is important, and it is to us. We take these cases very seriously.
So that experience that we have is unique also because we have experience in these communities, in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg, in these court systems.
You don't have to go to Pittsburgh to be represented by attorneys who don't know their way around your community.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, Malik Cunningham, Trey Fedak, and Michael Horvath due up in the top half of the second inning for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Gary, we're not at 2. Pretty good game here through an inning.
It is, and I need to, correct some identification errors in the first inning. I had Johnson making the plays in right field when, in fact, that was Malik Cunningham. Johnson down at third base made that excellent play to end the inning. So correct myself there. Malik Cunningham out in right field.
You just had him doing everything there in the first inning.
Yeah. I apologize
he was busy
for that.
This half inning being brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. So the senior Malik Cunningham to lead things off. And right now we have some rainfall, and we also have sunny skies.
Cunningham.
Precipitation's been falling on and off early on in this game. Cunningham, the lefty. First pitch for McManus, and Cunningham with a shot here, hopping in front of Richie Mihal out in right field. So Woodland Hills, much as they did in the top of the first inning, getting their leadoff batter on board.
That was a nice first pitch hit there by Cunningham, just in front of Richie Mihal out there in right field. Kind of a strange situation now with bright sunshine drenching the field, but it's still drizzling.
The field in pretty good shape. With Trey Fedak coming to the plate, also batting from the left side.
Big lead out here at first. Throw over. Might have got him.
Ooh, that was close.
Very close.
I thought they might have got him there, Gary.
From our angle, certainly looked like it. But we have to look at the replay.
Get another look at it for you folks on the TV side, and you can use your own judgment as far as what you thought. Nice breaking pitch there from Mason McManus, finding the strike zone to Trey Fedak. You mentioned Cunningham. He actually led off for the Wolverines against the Laurel Highlands earlier on this season, so plenty of speed. Another pitch to Fedak fouled off, and just like that, a couple of strikes on Trey Fedak. Nobody out as we work here in the top half of the second inning, tied at 2, Laurel Highlands and Woodland Hills. The Wolverines entering play today on a 5-game losing streak. Laurel Highlands 9 straight wins to start this season, all conference wins. Now the 2-strike pitch from McManus to Fedak is high and outside.
Probably a waste pitch there by McManus, but Cunningham is getting more and more of a lead over here at first. Might see him take off.
Trying to get some action here for the Wolverines on the base pass. 1-2 pitch just off the plate. That'll even things up at 2-2. McManus to Fedak. It's been kind of an odd season for Laurel Highlands as far as the schedules went because of all of the rainouts. In fact, every single game the Mustangs have played so far this season has been a conference game. 2-2 pitch on the way, and Fedak sends that one foul on the left side on the hill and then rolling down. And if the schedule holds up the way it is, Laurel Highlands will actually play 4 non-conference games before the playoffs start. So how odd is that, Gary? You start the season with conference games, play 4 non-conference games before entering the postseason.
Extremely odd, but those non-conference games will certainly be considered in seeding.
And a nice fastball there from McManus, sending down Trey Fedak. The non-conference schedule right now has games against Morgantown High, Bell Vernon, Uniontown, and West Allegheny. Now, West Allegheny game could be very exciting. Right now, Laurel Highlands, the number 2 team in 5A. West Allegheny, the number 3 team. And both teams entered the week without a loss on the season. Now at the plate, Michael Horvath fouls off the first pitch from McManus. The count at 0-1. West Allegheny making the trip here to Laurel Highlands. They'll be coming up on Thursday, May the 10th. We'll have the game both on the radio and the TV side. And who knows, those teams could end up meeting again down the road in the postseason. Another check of Cunningham. That's how they got him. Cunningham picked off a first, and that was clear and evident.
Huge lead, and really pretty much daring McManus to throw over. And that time his head-first slide didn't get him to the base.
Yes.
So it was pretty much a tag while he was not at the base.
We were right on top of that one. One of the advantages of our vantage point here today, right on top of the first base bag.
I remember the Mustangs playing West Allegheny in the playoffs.
Correct. A couple of years ago down in Washington. Swing and a miss there out of Horvath. Now 2 strikes on Michael Horvath.
My son was playing in that game, and
I don't think you were there, though, Gary, were you? I think I worked that game solo. Next pitch, high and inside.
Mustangs batted against, I think, the leading pitcher in the WPIL at that time.
Well, actually, they've met twice in the playoffs. You're probably referring to the 08 meeting where they lost 9-6.
That's correct.
Here's a ground ball getting through into center field, charging on Michael Whitehurst, or check that, charging on Greg Lancaster is Michael Horvath with a 2-out single to center field. And the teams met again in 2014. That was a first-round game at WNJ. West Allegheny defeating Laurel Highlands 5-3. And the Mustangs were highly regarded going into that matchup and just couldn't get the bats going.
Top of the order, pitcher A.J. Whitehurst.
Yeah, the top of the order again, and Andrew Whitehurst, the freshman who reached via an error and ended up scoring a run. McManus' first pitch to Whitehurst off the plate and hopped away a little bit there from Chad Petrus. Laurel Highlands last in the playoffs in 2016 defeated Ambridge in a first-round game before losing to Char Valley in the quarterfinal round 2-1. McManus' next pitch to Whitehurst. Again low. Nice block there from Petrus.
The reason I have some knowledge of that game in 09 is talk about a small world.
08.
Oh, so I'm sorry, 08. One of the players for West Allegheny is now my daughter's boyfriend in Charlotte.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes.
Talk about a small world.
Tyler Savitsky.
Okay. Mustangs had a nice little stretch of playoff years from 07 through 2010. Played up in the highest classification in 2011 and 2012. Missed the postseason. Went 6-12 back in 2013. Made it in 3 straight years, 2014, 15, and 16, before missing out last year, going 9-10. But certainly primed for a nice run here, starting off the 2018 campaign at 9-0, looking to improve to 10-0 here this afternoon in a 2-2 game with Woodland Hills, and the Wolverines with 1 on and 2 outs here in the top of the second inning, and drawing a walk is Andrew Whitehurst.
It's the 3-1 pitch from McManus, unable to find the strike zone. So with 2 outs now, 2 men on for Charles Hanchett.
Hanchett grounded, actually bunted into a, was that a ground out there in a fielder's choice, 5-3?
That was the bunt, but
bunt, correct,
no sacrifice because the at that time Whitehurst was on second.
Correct. Now a little mini meeting here at the mound between Petrus, Edenfield, and McManus. The Wolverines, scrappy team, coming to play here today. Now we'll get a courtesy runner here as it'll be number 12 coming in here for Woodland Hills. That'll be Caleb Korf coming on a run. Korf running for Andrew Whitehurst.
Courtesy runner for...
So you have Korf now on first.
Number 12.
Horvath on second. Barry's saying that's Skaronski. My roster showing it's Korf, but
Mustangs trying to get out of this inning with no damage.
The pitch there high and inside to Charles Hanchett. Yes, it is Jack Skaronski on the latest update. We'll update our roster as well. Skaronski on first. Horvath on second. And going around there is Hanchett.
1-1. McManus keeping it in the strike zone here now after walking Whitehurst.
McManus again set to go from the stretch. Look back at second. Next pitch on the way. Fastball fouled off. Now 2 strikes on Charles Hanchett, the Wolverines' junior left fielder. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, Nick Barchak back in our Uniontown Hospital studios on the radio side. Jerry Dupay here on the South Union TV side. Mustangs and the Wolverines on a Friday afternoon at Landman Field. McManus now trying to finish off Charles Hanchett. That pitch misses high and inside. Rain has stopped for now under cloudy skies. They've kept the field here in pretty good shape. McManus set with the next pitch on the way. A little nubber here down the third base line, just going foul. Away from Nate Zimkoski.
Luckily that did go foul, as that was a slow roller that Zimkoski would not have had a chance to make a play down there at third, so.
Could have loaded up the bases.
2-2 now.
Here we go again. McManus ready. 2-2 here to Hanchett. Breaking ball, and it hit him.
Wow. Looked like it hit the bat.
I did too. That's why I hesitated there for a second.
Must have hit his arm, but he'll take it.
And the first time these two teams met, a Wolverine player, Gary, actually had a pitch that was thrown behind him. Tried to duck out of the way. The ball hit his bat, bounced into fair territory, and he was out at first. That time, the Wolverines getting the break their way as Hanchett was hit to load the bases with Michael Whitehurst coming to the plate.
So a lot of work here in the inning for McManus.
Center fielder Michael Whitehurst.
Especially when the Mustangs had all intentions of coming into today trying to keep the pitch counts down. Hasn't been the case here, at least through an inning and 2/3. And now McManus will wind and fire. The first pitch missing on the outside of Michael Whitehurst, 1-0.
Whitehurst dribbled one right out in front of home plate. His first time up.
On the books, 2-3, 1-0 pitch here, and a hard ground ball through Zimkoski. That'll score a run for the Wolverines. Second Mustang error of the afternoon.
You really have to play those balls coming off the grass infield as if they are not going to come up. That ball just stayed down under the glove of Zimkoski, trickled into left field, but alertly Travis Sankovic backing him up to keep that at just one run coming in.
And the Mustangs defense has been pretty solid so far this season. Surprised to see a couple of errors here in the early innings. But it's given the Wolverines the lead again at 3-2 with Ben Detour coming to the plate. Detour, the 7th Wolverine to bat here in this top half of the second inning, takes a fastball right down the pipe for strike one. Detour, of course, that big RBI triple to right field back in the first inning. Of course, no RBI granted there on the Michael Whitehurst bouncer that was ruled an error. Next pitch on the way to Detour, missing low. I'll even the count at 1-1. Michael Whitehurst on first, Charles Hanchett on second, and the courtesy runner Skaronski on third. 1-1 pitch here to Ben Detour. Swing and a miss. Another nice fastball from McManus. Count 1-2.
And no matter what level of baseball you're at, from Midget League all the way up to professionals, if you grant runs through errors, they usually come back to haunt you.
Nice breaking ball there, but off the plate.
Did not get the call. McManus a little frustrated with that one.
Looked pretty good from our vantage point, but again, we're not right behind home plate. Now the 2-2. McManus to Detour. And Detour sends this high in the air to right. Richie Mihal, a little run at it, makes the grab to end the inning. So the Wolverines leave the bases loaded. They do pick up a run as we move to the bottom of the second. It's 3-2, Woodland Hills over Laurel Highlands on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
One run scored at the top of the second inning for Woodland Hills. Moving to the bottom of the second, it's Woodland Hills 3, Laurel Highlands 2.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, the Mustangs down 3-2 as we enter the bottom half of the second inning. Richie Mihal, Tanner Minio, and Greg Lancaster due up for the Mustangs. Both teams scoring 2 runs apiece in the first inning. Woodland Hills left 3 stranded, but did pick up a run in the top half of the second inning.
And a well-hit ball that Richie Mihal tracked down in right field, kept it at a 3-2 game. Otherwise, there would have been at least 2-run score. So give him credit on a nice running catch out there in right field.
Richie Mihal, only his 4th plate appearance of the season. 2 for 3, though, at the plate. Takes ball 1. 5'9", 170 senior getting the start today in right field. With that 2 for 3 at the plate, a couple of RBIs for Richie Mihal. 1-0 pitch here from Andrew Whitehurst. And therefore a strike. Evens up the count at 1-1 this half inning, being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the Peachin Superfood Mart. We mentioned Laurel Highlands entering the week at number 2 in the WPIL. North Hills, the number 1 team in 5A. Enter the week with a 10-2 record. Breaking ball there, in for a strike to Mihal. Count now at 1-2. West Allegheny came into the week at 6-0 at number 3. Hampton number 4. The Gateway Gators, who the Mustangs will see here at home next week, at number 5. 1-2 pitch to Mihal. Richie stays alive, fouling it back. Mars at 6, Moon at 7, Franklin Regional at number 8, Char Valley at 9, and Fox Chapel at 10, rounding out the top 10 in 5A. Count remaining at 1-2. Freshman Andrew Whitehurst's next pitch to Mihal. A little check swing did not go. Pitch was low. Missed for a ball to even up the count at 2-2.
Catcher Ben Detour tried to get an appeal, but none granted.
Now Andrew Whitehurst, long look into Detour, shaking one off. Now set to go, wind and fire the 2-2. Fastball missing high and inside, and we're full at 3-2.
Good look there by Mihal. That ball well above the letters, but tough to lay off those with 2 strikes.
Payoff pitch now, Whitehurst to Mihal with nobody out in the bottom of the second. The Mustangs down a run. Pitch on the way. Fastball missing low for ball 4. So Richie Mihal showing a good eye there, drawing a leadoff walk for the Mustangs here in the bottom half of the second inning. That'll bring up the red-hot Tanner Minio. The 6', 165 senior, now batting .579 with 16 RBIs. Playing left field here today.
What a weapon in the 9 spot.
For sure. Really doing a nice job at the plate. Trying to rally the Mustangs back now from a 1-run deficit. Takes the first pitch for strike 1 right at the knees there from Whitehurst. Andrew again from the stretch. Taking his time on the hill. 0-1 on the way. That one a little one-hopper, getting blocked by Detour. Evens up the count at 1-1. Our next radio game will be Tuesdays. The Mustangs travel to Franklin Regional. 3:45 Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. 4 o'clock first pitch. Our next simulcast game will be Wednesday when the Mustangs take on the Gateway Gators as Arminio golfs that one foul. Actually right over his dad's head out there in left field.
Protecting his car.
Yes. Bruce likes to watch down the third base and left field line. Now Tan with 2 strikes on him. Pitch from Whitehurst. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Tanner Minio goes down, the first out of this bottom of the second inning. One of the disadvantages of being up here in the press box, Gary, with the battle of the bees.
Yeah, the wood-boring bees are voluminous here.
I had one attacking my neck as soon as I got here today. We have our control guy, our pest control guy, Barry Rosner, on duty again here today.
He has his wasp spray over there.
He does, a couple of cans. That's his third job, between checking fire extinguishers and announcing here at Laurel Highlands. Fights the pest problem around the county. Ball hopping away from the catcher, Ben Detour, but nowhere for Mihal to go. With the Greg Lancaster at the plate. Lancaster struck out swinging first time up. Whitehurst again out of the stretch. Next pitch to Lancaster. A little chin music there. Missing on the inside. Count now at 2-0.
Fans getting back to their positions in the bleachers above the third base line.
2-0 pitch. Catching the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 now.
Lancaster
Greg
shaking
Lancaster.
his head on that one.
He didn't like it. Whitehurst again being very deliberate here this afternoon. 2-1 pitch, and their first strike again, 2-2. Wolverines hanging around here.
1 out in the inning.
Still up 3-2 over the Mustangs. 2-2, little nubber as Lancaster stays alive, staying in the Mustang dugout.
Just caught the end of the bat with that one. As you said, staying alive, but barely that time.
Here we go, 2-2 again. Whitehurst to Lancaster. That one missing low and outside, so we'll go full 3-2. Andrew's thrown a lot of pitches so far in this game, Gary.
He sure has. I have him at about 42 pitches.
Still working here in the bottom half of the second inning. Payoff pitch to Lancaster. Fastball.
Wow.
Misses for ball 4. Wow. That could have been strike 3.
Well, Whitehurst certainly thought it was.
Again, we don't have the best vantage point, but if it missed, it didn't miss by much. Head coach Larry Whitehurst can't be too happy about that call either.
And once again, the pitcher and catcher covering their mouths. Must know they're on TV.
Yeah, it's a TV game today. I don't want to give up any signs. They're asking for the TV info we got here. Of course, you never know. Somebody watches, has the Wolverines next week.
Brings up Josh Burns now with 2 on and 1 out as the rain starts to drizzle again.
Burns grounded out 6-3 back in the first inning. And now a little throw back at second goes into center field, and the Mustangs will try to advance here. Richie Mihal down to third and into second safely, Greg Lancaster.
Wow. Fortunate break there for the Mustangs.
For sure.
Play at second, really not close as Mihal was back in easily, but the ball getting away into center field and just dies out there in the heavy grass in center field, so no chance for the Wolverines to catch the runners advancing.
Good opportunity now for Josh Burns at the plate. Mustangs down a run. Big fastball from Whitehurst, swing and a miss from Burns, 0-1.
Good heat on that fastball.
And Mihal down at third, Lancaster on second, 1 out in the inning, and an 0-1 count to Josh Burns, who grounded out 6-3 back in the first inning. Well, nubber there.
Has him where he wants him now, 0-2, so Josh will need to protect, go to his 2-strike mythology for batting. Just needs to put it in play somewhere, although Woodland Hills draws the infield in.
Burns entered this game today with 14 RBIs on the season behind 0-2 here. Pitch from Whitehurst, breaking ball, just missing outside. Count at 1-2.
Another tough one to lay off.
You surprised the infield in so much on the Woodland Hills side?
With the lead, I guess they're working on reputation for the Mustangs that they can put runs up in bunches, so I guess that's a best strategy to limit them as much as you can.
Still here in the early innings.
Josh takes ball 2.
Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball low again, so good job from Josh Burns to work his way back into the count. We're full 3-2, first base open. Rain starting to pick up a little bit more in intensity. Still 1 out here in the inning. 3-2 pitch, Whitehurst to Burns, fastball, and Josh hits this one high in the air to right along the line. It'll go out of play. Big run there from Malik Cunningham out in right field. Here we go, 3-2 again. Pitch on the way, low for ball 4.
Kind of lost the feed there with WMBS trying to get back hooked up here.
Still here on the TV side, so Burns walking. And for those of you rejoining us now on the radio side, Josh Burns walking, loading up the bases. You have 3 walks issued here this half inning to Mihal, Lancaster, and Burns. That'll bring up Travis Sankovic. Wolverines still up at 3-2, and now a little meeting here at the mound, Gary, on the Woodland Hills side.
And unofficially, I have him at 25 pitches this inning, 26 in the first, so 51 pitches and just 1 out here in the second. So all kind of Whitehurst family activity there.
Correct. They're going to stay with the freshman Andrew Whitehurst. Rain starting to pick up again. The Mustangs with Josh Burns on first, Craig Lancaster on second, Richie Mihal on third. One out in the inning. And now Travis Sankovic coming to the plate.
Not who you want to face with the bases loaded.
Now the rain really coming down. Mustangs down a run. Whitehurst's first pitch to Sank, little one-hopper, blocked there by Detour.
You might have a stoppage in play here if this continues at this pace.
Rain continuing to fall at a pretty good rate. Next pitch to Sank. Missing off the plate.
Outside. And it looks like Whitehurst is looking to the dugout for some potential pitching change here.
And Sankovic, a hard shot there, deep to right, and that ball is going to go over the wall and gone. A grand slam home run for Travis Sankovic, and the Mustangs back in the lead at 6-3. Sank's second home run of the season, and now has 15 RBIs after that shot to right that Malik Cunningham just had a look at.
And just as we said, not the guy you want to see with the bases loaded and one out and maybe one pitch too late to take out the freshman Andrew Whitehurst as Travis Sankovic rips one well over the right field fence for the 4 RBIs.
Now we're going to have a pitching change on the Woodland Hills side, so we'll step aside for a quick timeout here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. It's the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day. Back here at Landman Field, new pitcher for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, Trey Fedak. After Andrew Whitehurst got pulled after giving up a grand slam home run to Travis Sankovic to give the Mustangs a 6-3 lead in this game. Now the rain, Gary, suddenly just stopped after a pretty good downpour about 5 minutes ago.
I think that shot by Sankovic went up in the clouds.
Yes, stop the rain. Maybe plug the hole, as Barry said. You still have one out here in the inning. And Mason McManus now coming to the plate. With the bases now empty. Fedak continuing to warm up. This half inning being brought to you by Romeo's World Importing in Uniontown.
And we have Andrew Whitehurst playing shortstop now for the Wolverines. Goes from just a switch in position between Fedak and Whitehurst.
And the only change out there. Now Mason McManus, the 6th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. McManus doubled to right field, picked up an RBI, and scored a run and keeps it going here with a shot out to left center field, played there by Charles Hanchett. And a one-out single for Mason McManus to keep things going for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs.
He just looks so comfortable at the plate, just has that long swing, and when he makes contact, it's barreled up, and he rifles that ball into left center.
Dylan Bonner again to run on the Mustangs side.
Courtesy runner for Laurel Highlands, number 6, Dylan Bonner.
And Heat Edenfield at the plate.
First baseman.
Edenfield a single to right field. Picked up an RBI. Back in the first inning. Trey Fedak now on the hill, working from the stretch with Bonner, the courtesy runner, on first. Breaking ball in there for a strike to Edenfield. That one really coming in slow. 0-1. Mustangs a 3-run lead right now, trying to improve to 10-0 on the season. Another breaking ball, swing and a miss there from Edenfield.
Ian having a hard time waiting on that. Go to pitch.
And Edenfield with a shot here to right, and it'll get past Malik Cunningham out there in right field. Bonner rounding third. He will score on the play. Edenfield on his way to third, and a throw now coming in. Not in time. A stand-up triple for Ian Edenfield as Edenfield drives in the courtesy runner Dylan Bonner. Edenfield's second RBI of the afternoon, 12th RBI of the season, increases the Laurel Highlands lead now to 7-3.
And Cunningham diving to his left, putting all the effort that he could, flat out, just could not get to that ball. And once it was by him, it took him a long time to get to the ball at the fence, which enables Edenfield to get all the way around to third with that stand-up RBI triple.
Now 5 runs scored in the inning for Laurel Highlands. They lead by 4 at 7-3 as Nate Simkoski takes the first pitch low for ball 1 from Trey Fedak. Simkoski walked back in the first inning. Came into the game with a .421 average, 5'10", 145 sophomore. Ready a homer and 13 RBIs on the season. And Simkoski, another shot here. Deep to right center field, moving over and making the grab for the outs. Michael Whitehurst out there in center, but tagging and scoring on the play. Ian Edenfield picking up the 8th Mustang run of the afternoon. And the 14th RBI of the season for Nate Simkoski.
Exactly what you want to do if you're Nate Simkoski, a man on third with 1 out. Put it in the air to the outfield at least, and that ball was hit well to the fence almost out there in right center.
And suddenly you have a comfortable 5-run lead with Chad Petrus, the 9th Mustang to bat here in this half inning, taking ball 1 from Trey Fedak.
It's been the method for the Mustangs all year, runs in bunches.
Petrus grounded out, 5 unassisted to end the first inning. Another inning that has seen the Mustangs bring every batter to the plate. Petrus trying to keep it going, and that strike was caught almost at the shoulders there to Petrus. Wow.
Got some moans from the fans on that one.
Fedak trying to get the Wolverines out of the inning, an inning that's seen them yield 6 runs already, and Petrus, a well-hit ball here, will send it in the center field to keep things going. Michael Whitehurst on the quick relay in. Another hit from the Mustangs. Single to center for Chad Petrus, and Richie Mihal now will bat for the second time in this second inning. We get another courtesy runner in on the Laurel Highlands side. That's Alec McClay.
Mihal started things out in this inning with a walk.
Ended up scoring a run. He's the 10th batter of the inning for the Mustangs. Taking the first pitch for a strike there from Trey Fedak. Fedak again from the stretch. That pitch missing. Nice to have the pop in the bats like the Mustangs have here in 2018.
No doubt about that. And it seems like they, as you said, are able to adjust to the different pitching styles. Maybe for the first inning or two having a little bit of a adjustment period. But once they do find their sea legs, so to speak, they just put the bat on the ball continuously.
2 strikes now on Richie Mihal, count at 1-2. Fedak trying to get out of the inning. 1-2 pitch, little one-hopper getting away there from Detour, and Alec McClay down to second into scoring position. Now the count even at 2-2. And next week will certainly be a test if the weather cooperates for Laurel Highlands with 5 games over a 6-day period. 4 of the 5 being conference games.
And I think the Mustangs, more than most, have the pitching depth.
They do. Of course, a few question marks, though, with Evan Voighton. He has not pitched since the injury he sustained against Albert Gallatin there a week or so ago. Next pitch to Petrus popped up. I'll go foul over the fence.
That's me.
Mihal, excuse me. Yep.
But you're right about that. We hope that Voighton does not have something that's very serious and that it was more of a preventative thing to get him out of the game. But we'll have to wait and see. Not
in the lineup here today. He did play as the Mustang designated hitter on Monday against McKeesport the last time we saw the Mustangs here on the radio side down at Helen Ritchie Field. And Richie Mihal at the plate. Hard ground ball here going right to Sheldon Johnson. Little one-hopper over to first. Good job there from Joe Ward on the bag to haul it in, but the Mustangs pick up 6 and now lead 8-3 after 2 here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
6 runs scored in the bottom of the second inning for Laurel Highlands. Moving to the top of the third, it's now Laurel Highlands 8 and Woodland Hills 3.
Visitors calling you day and night? Your debt overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
Welcome back to the top of the third inning. Mustangs plating 6 in the bottom of the second to take the 8-3 lead. But the Woodland Hills Wolverines have shown the ability to put some runs up, so the Mustangs need to tighten things up on defense.
The bats have been going for sure in this game. Another messy scorebook on the Laurel Highlands side. We like to see those. Mustangs have put up a lot of crooked numbers so far this season.
And Johnson comes to the plate and rips one deep to left field, going back, unable to make the play as it one-hops the fence was Herminio, and a leadoff double, just as we said. Sheldon Johnson getting things started for the Wolverines here in the top of the third.
And the wind here today, Gary, really not even blowing out.
Put a charge into that one.
We're seeing some well-hit balls here today, and Johnson, his second hit of the afternoon. Picked up an RBI single to right back in the first inning.
Brings up Joe Ward.
Ward grounded out 5-3 to end the first, with the rain starting to fall again. On and off showers throughout the course of the afternoon here at Landman Field.
So the Mustangs looking to work outs, give up the leadoff double as the rain comes down again. Pitch high and inside. Ball 1 to Joe Ward. The first baseman made a nice play to end the bottom half of the second inning, picking the low throw from third base. 1-0 pitch. Ground to third. Zimkowski up with it. On to Edenfield for the first out of the inning. Looks Johnson back perfectly, so he is not able to advance. So 5-3 again for Joe Ward.
Another nice play there for the Mustangs sophomore, Nate Zimkowski. This half inning being brought to you by General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek.
Brings up Malik Cunningham.
Right fielder, Malik Cunningham.
Cunningham, of course, that single to right field to lead off the second inning. Ended up getting picked off, yep.
Pitch on the outside corner from McManus for a strike. Breaking pitch. Catches the outside corner. This on and off rain is playing a little bit of havoc with our equipment.
For sure, trying to keep everything dry. At least we're under cover here today.
Fastball on the outside corner. 0-2 now to Cunningham.
I think we all made a good move staying inside here today.
0-2 offering. McManus to Cunningham. Whoa, just misses. Framing it back there was Petrus. Did not get the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think the rain certainly affects the pitchers, I would think, more than the hitters out there. Wouldn't you agree, Gary?
Absolutely.
Just trying to pick their spots.
Stepping back now, McManus. And as you said, trying to keep things dry is a difficult task.
They've done a nice job to keep the field in pretty good shape. Of course, the dirt wet, but certainly not unplayable by any means yet.
1-2 pitch, high and outside, 2-2.
Especially considering the fact how wet the entire month of April's been around the area. I don't remember a spring season with as many as postponements we've had this year.
Certainly has been a difficult time, not only rain but cold. 2-2 pitch, high and outside. That one slipped out of McManus's hand. You could tell as he released it. Runs the count full. Nobody out. One out. Leadoff double by Sheldon Johnson. Ground out to third for the out. That ball's in the dirt, so ball 4. Cunningham works a walk after falling behind 0-2.
I think the rain played a little havoc there with McManus. And it started picking up during that at-bat from Cunningham. And Cunningham's now been aboard here during both of his plate appearances in the game, with Trey Fedak now coming to the plate.
Trey Fedak.
Came in from shortstop to pitch in the bottom half of the second. Thought the rain was going to stop, but now it picked up again. Fastball in there for a strike. Might be the last inning for McManus. He's already also up above 55 pitches as the rain just continues to get heavier. Here's a pitch. There's a high fly ball deep to left field. Herminio now camps under it, makes the catch, and no tag at second for the second out. I think the rain might have held that one up, Brian.
It did.
It looked like that one was going to be over Herminio's head also, but he was able to track it down.
And the funny thing is, you look out towards left field and you see the sun out there and a couple of clear spots in the air. So the Mustangs will take it, the second out of the inning now, with Michael Horvath coming to the plate.
Second baseman singled his last time at bat with 2 outs now. 2 men on for the Wolverines. Fastball late swing there by Horvath. Just chips it over the right field stands. The dugout here in our press box. McManus from the stretch. Checks the runners. Comes home. Inside corner for strike 2. Horvath kind of stepped back on that one. Looks to the dugout for assistance. None coming. And here comes the rain. Very difficult to play in these conditions right now. 0-2 pitch. Fouled back. McManus trying to get himself in the dugout. But Horvath spoiled it.
It's pretty much a straight downpour right now.
And you can see some water starting to lay in the infield. I don't think we'll be coming out of this inning without a delay. Fastball just misses outside.
Yeah, the radar doesn't look too bad, though, Gary. These showers keep on popping up. And plenty of clearing and dry conditions just a few miles out.
It's heavy rains, too. 1-2 pitch. There's a drive into right center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Mihal up with it. Gets it to Enfield at the cutoff. Now play at third, and he's in there safely. So scoring on the play was Sheldon Johnson for Woodland Hills. Around to third is Malik Cunningham. RBI single for Michael Horvath with 2 outs here in the inning. Keeps things going for Woodland Hills.
Wolverines now have scored at least a run in every inning. They played at 2 in the top half of the first, another run in the second, now a run here in the third inning, and they're back to within 4 of Laurel Highlands at 8-4. The rain's still falling.
And it looks like they're trying to dry some balls off here. The coaching staff for the Mustangs getting out the towels, but the rain continues to fall as the leadoff hitter Andrew Whitehurst will now have an opportunity with runners at first and third and 2 outs.
Gary, you look right here at the radar, just one little spot. I think that little orange cell is right around our area, but then you got plenty of
if we can
clearing
get
out
by
there.
Another 20 minutes, it should be clear. McManus from the stretch. Fastball gets it by Whitehurst, but he fouls it to the right.
We had 12 runs scored in this game. Wolverines trying to keep things going here in the top half of the third inning with 2 on and 2 outs.
8-4. Still a good ball game here at Landman Field. 0-1 pitch, fouled back again, 0-2.
Again, we'll have Pirates baseball on the radio side as soon as this one wraps up. Pirates starting a 3-game weekend series with the St. Louis Cardinals. Airtime 6:40 tonight, or whenever we wrap things up.
Buccos squeaking out 2 out of 3 from the Tigers in the last series. Getting back on track a little bit. 0-2 pitch. There's a little ground ball. McManus able to pick it up and flip it to Edenfield to get out of the inning. Woodland Hills does plate 1 run, and the score now 8-4 as we go to the bottom of the third here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
1 run scored at the top of the third inning for Woodland Hills.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Thank all the family, friends, fans for sticking around. And
welcome back. We are just about ready to resume play. The Wolverines getting their final warm-ups out on the reconfigured Diamond Dry infield.
And about a 40-minute rain delay. Nice job to get the field back in shape.
Score stands at 8-4. The Mustangs coming to bat here in the bottom of the third.
Of course, for the folks on the TV side, didn't seem quite that long. For the folks on the radio side, thanks for hanging in there.
Absolutely.
And still on the mound for Woodland Hills will be Trey Fedak. Of course, Fedak came on in relief of Andrew Whitehurst back in the second inning. No matter how tough it is for the pitchers, Fedak only saw about a half inning of work, and they're still going to add a little more Diamond Dry down here at first just to make sure everything's set to go. Laurel Highlands assistant coach and assistant athletic director Mike Smith out there. Been joking around with Smitty a couple of times this week that we really need to pre-tape an episode of Inside Mustang Baseball for situations like this. Yeah, we've had twice already this week. Of course, on Monday down in McKeesport, Gary, you weren't there. We had a 53-minute delay because the umpires didn't show up.
Well, that scheduling hassle creeps up every year, seems like.
Yeah, somewhere.
When we thought we were just going to get underway,
Now it's like smoke from all the dirt coming up.
And I believe that's got to be the end of the Diamond Dry available.
Yeah, I'd say so. And those bags aren't cheap, are they?
No, they are not.
What do they run a bag?
I don't know for sure, but I know that they're treasured.
Yes. The Mustang's set to go. Arminio's already in the box. He wants to play. They're still working on the bag here around first. Tan struck out swinging last time up back in the second inning. I think we're going to resume.
Here we go.
After about a 42-minute rain delay.
The fans are all been back in their positions for the last half hour, ready to see more high school baseball. Temperature has stayed pretty steady. It's not really that chilly out here.
No, nice out now. No rain. And the final go-ahead here from the Mustang dugout. Back on both the radio and the TV side.
Finally, baseball action.
And if you're joining us, 8-4, Laurel Highlands over Woodland Hills.
Here's the pitch. In there, high and tight for ball one to Tan Arminio. Trey Fedak from the windup.
And working here in the bottom of the third inning, which is being brought to you by the Uniontown Hospital, making a healthy difference in the lives they touch.
There's a high fly ball to right center field, tracking over the center fielder for Woodland Hills. That's Michael Whitehurst to make the catch. One out in the inning.
One up, one down. And Greg Lancaster in the top of the order now up for Laurel Highlands. Lancaster struck out swinging back in the first inning, walked and scored a run in the second inning. His third plate appearance coming here in the bottom of the third inning.
One quick out now.
Center fielder Greg Lancaster.
As we said, Trey Fedak came on in relief in the second inning. Is only at about 17, 18 pitches as the first pitch curveball comes in low and outside for ball one.
For both of these teams, you now have to regain your focus a little bit. Had the rain delay, which popped up, and now trying to get right back at it.
Fastball in there for a strike. Lancaster looking at that one.
Of course, the Mustangs are certainly in a groove in the bottom of the second inning, scoring 6 runs, highlighted by that Travis Sankovic grand slam home run over the right field fence.
It's a kind of situation where you do not want to lose your concentration and get complacent if you're the Mustangs.
Now you're up 4, but this Woodland Hills team has shown the ability to score runs so far this afternoon.
Pitch high, 2-1. Fedak quickly back into the windup. Fastball in for a strike on the inside corner. Lancaster looking again, 2-2.
Fedak certainly looks comfortable coming out of the rain delay.
Burns on deck. 2-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss by Lancaster. Fooled on that one for his second strikeout of the game and the second out of the inning.
And Greg a little off balance there, so 2 up, 2 down, and now Josh Burns coming to the plate.
Josh grounded to short in the first, walked, and came around to score on the grand slam by Sankovic in the second. Fedak trying to get a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the third. Burns looks at the first fastball inside for ball one. Looks like a few more fans getting out of their vehicles. Here's a pitch. Just misses low and outside, ball 2.
And why not? Perfect day out right now. Hard to believe it was raining as hard as it was about an hour ago.
Fedak, 2-0 offering to Burns, low and outside again, 3-0.
We haven't had too many uninterrupted games so far in the season without having something pop up, whether it's rain or other issues that have been out of our control.
Injuries. There's a pitch inside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Josh Burns, his second walk of the game. Brings up Travis Sankovic with 2 outs in the inning. Always dangerous.
We've had game start 10 minutes early, 53 minutes late, rain delays. What haven't we had? Injuries?
Well, we can adjust. We always can adjust. On the fly.
On the fly. You said Sankovic, that grand slam last time up.
There's a pitch in the dirt. That's going to get away from the catcher. Detour allows Burns to get down into scoring position at second base for Sankovic.
Sankovic now 2 home runs and 15 RBIs so far this season. And his average now right around 700. The 5'11", 170 senior came into the game with a 690 average. 1 for 1 with a walk. Now has scored 2 runs already this afternoon.
I'd have to look back at my scorebook, but I don't recall him ever striking out. There's another one in the dirt, and that's going to allow Burns to get into third head first slide.
Well, you really put the eyes on him there.
2-0. Nah.
I can tell you right now if he struck out yet this season. Let me pull up the old stat sheet we got here before the game. Give me a moment. I'll have that for you.
That's 3-0. Burns is going to try to score on another pass ball, and he does. Wow. Wild pitch that went back to the screen, and Burns alertly, quickly comes home and scores a run for the Mustangs. So without a hit, just 1 walk in the inning, 3 wild pitches later, he scores.
He struck out once this season.
We'll see that. No eye jazz. 3-0. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. A little out front of that one. 3-1 now to Travis Sankovic.
Had a green light at 3-0.
Why not? 3-1. There's a ground ball to second. Slow roller. Picked up there on to first for the out. That by Michael Horvath to Joe Ward to end the inning. But the Mustangs able to push one across by way of wild pitches. Now lead 9-4 as we go to the top of the 4th here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
1 run scored in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Laurel Highlands. Moving to the top of the 4th, it's Laurel Highlands 9 and Woodland Hills 4.
Colon cancer is the 2nd leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, new pitcher for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Ian Edenfield, on for the 3rd time this season, entering this game. Working 4 1/3 innings so far this season, yielding only 1 run, ERA of 1.61. He struck out 5, walked 1. No record to speak of, has not factored in any decisions so far for the Mustangs. Yielded only 3 hits, but ready to get some action here after the rain delay for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, on in relief of Mason McManus, who's now going to be playing first base.
You kind of expected that when we started the game, but that's probably a no-brainer after such a delay to make the change as we start here in the top half of the 4th inning.
Entering this game, Dino Vecchiola has actually pitched more innings than any other Laurel Highlands pitcher. He picked up the win yesterday against Thomas Jefferson. The Mustangs, stat-wise, have 47 1/3 innings recorded from their pitchers, and 20 have been eaten up by Vecchiola.
That's pretty impressive for the young man.
Probably see him again at some point next week, at least once, maybe even twice, as we start here in the top of the 4th. First pitch fouled off there by Charles Hatchett, with Laurel Highlands now leading 9-4 over Woodland Hills. It's Hatchett, Michael Whitehurst, and Ben Detour due up here in the top of the 4th for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Woodland Hills has scored at least a run in every inning so far, 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd for their 4 so far this afternoon. Now Edenfield's 0-1 to Hatchett. Fastball missing high and inside. Evens up the count at 1-1. This half inning being brought to you by Ted Sovan's Sun Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood. Game now being played under bright sunny skies. Temperature 68 degrees. Edenfield's 1-1 now to Hatchett. Another one fouled off over the press box and out of play. Moves the count to 1-2.
Edenfield imposing figure on the mound.
A good size.
High leg kick for that 6'6", I believe.
6'4", 230 they had listed in the book as. 1-2 on the way to Hatchett. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. So backwards K there for Charles Hatchett. And one down here in the top half of the fourth. I'll bring Michael Whitehurst to the plate. Whitehurst grounded out 2-3 back in the first, reached via an error in the second inning. Third plate appearance of the afternoon for Michael Whitehurst. Speedy lefty. Edenfield taking his time, shaking off one from Petrus, now set to go. First pitch here to Michael Whitehurst. Fastball missing low for ball 1. And the Mustangs return to action Monday at Greater Latrobe, 7 o'clock starts. Next radio game Tuesday at Franklin Regional, 4 o'clock. Next simulcast game next Wednesday. The Mustangs host the Gateway Gators. Next pitch to Whitehurst, in there for a strike. Count now even at 1-1. With one out as we work here in the top of the fourth. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay on the South Union TV side. Nick Barczyk back in our Uniontown Hospital studios on the radio side.
Mustangs outfield playing very shallow, both in left and center. A little deeper in right to the left-handed hitting Whitehurst.
Edenfield's 1-1. Whitehurst a little nubber here at first. Charging in McManus. Flips to Edenfield. It's close, but in time to retire Michael Whitehurst.
Good fundamental play there by Edenfield, covering from his pitcher's position as he shifted from first base to pitcher. So McManus and Edenfield working well together.
2 up, 2 down. Now Ben Detour coming to the plate. Detour, big RBI triple for Woodland Hills back in the first inning. Flew out to right field and Richie Mihal back in the second.
Hit the ball hard both times and both in the same direction.
And Detour, good player on both sides of the ball. Solid catcher for Woodland Hills. Wolverines trying to get something going now, trailing by 5 at 9-4. Edenfield's first pitch to Detour, and Detour sends this one right up the middle into center field. Greg Lancaster charging on, but a 2-out single for Ben Detour, his second hit of the afternoon. A Detour staying hot. I'll bring up Sheldon Johnson. Johnson 0 for 2. RBI single to right back in the first inning.
2 for 2, right?
Yeah, 2 for 2. What did I say?
0 for 2.
2 for 2, I'm sorry. 2 for 2, double to center field back in the third inning and scored a run. Had a nice afternoon so far. Edenfield's first pitch to Johnson, missing low for ball 1. Ben Detour on first. Mustangs up 5, looking to improve to 10-0 on the season. Woodland Hills trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Edenfield's 1-0 now to Sheldon Johnson. Breaking ball, high and inside. Count now 2-0.
Even with the diamond drive around the base pads, it's still somewhat sloppy, which would give a runner a difficult time getting a good jump on any kind of a steal attempt.
A little dicey in spots. Mound in pretty good shape, though. Considering all the rain we had here earlier on today. 2-0 pitch, fastball missing low. So 3-0 now to Sheldon Johnson. Trying to reach base for the third time already in this game. And now Chad Petrus comes out and has a little talk here with Ian Edenfield.
Mud in the cleats. Going to be a problem for the remainder of the evening.
It's wet on the mound, but the dirt itself seems to be in pretty good shape. Don't see too many mud spots on there. least from our angle. Annenfield set to go again with Detour on first. And a 3-0 count. Fastball in there for a strike. Johnson appeared to be taking all the way. This was originally supposed to be Laurel Highlands Senior Day. They've moved that now to a week from Monday when they take on Bell Vernon, May the 7th, 4 o'clock start. Annenfield now set with a 3-1 to Sheldon Johnson. That one high and inside for ball 4. So after Edenfield retired Hatchett and Michael Whitehurst to start the inning, Ben Detour with a single, Sheldon Johnson with a walk, and the Wolverines up with 2 on and 2 outs, down 9-4, with Joe Ward coming into the plate.
Grounded to third twice so far, both in the first and the third inning.
You don't want this game to lag on too long with some possible rain clouds still on the horizon. Edenfield's first pitch here to Ward. High and inside for ball 1. I think we're out of the woods as far as possible showers the rest of the afternoon and in the evening hours. Sunset scheduled for just after 8 o'clock tonight. So still about 2 hours of daylight left here today. That pitch missing low to Joe Ward. Moving the count now to 2-0. Of course, the Wolverines want to try to avoid making another bus trip down to Laurel Highlands just to play an inning or two as well. Edenfield now with the 2-0 to Joe Ward. And there for a strike. Count moves to 2-1. Ward a couple of ground outs, both 5-3s back in the first and third innings. Going in Nate Simkoski's direction. Count now at 2-1.
Ian just looking to throw strikes.
There's another ground ball. This one's going to go to Sankovic at short. He'll get the force out at second, retiring Sheldon Johnson to end the inning. And the Wolverines held scoreless in this top half of the fourth, who's headed to the bottom of the fourth. 9-4 Mustangs over the Wolverines here on the law firm, the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS and on the Triple Live High School Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Number ends scored at the top of the fourth inning. Moving to the bottom of the fourth, it's the Mustangs 9, the Wolverines 4.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Just sit right down and you hear a tale of a fateful call. You better pay those bills right now or you take a mighty fall. He really didn't know what to do, so he turned to those who did. Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, your bankruptcy crew, your bankruptcy crew. So no matter how deep in debt you are, if your back's against the wall, Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, just give them a call.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Laurel Highlands leading Woodland Hills by a score of 9-4. Mason McManus, Ian Edenfield, and Nate Simkoski. 2 up for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs.
Looking to try to add on, Mustangs able to score in each of the innings. That was the first time that Woodland Hills did not score in the fourth inning. Now leading 9-4.
Mustangs with 2 in the bottom half of the first, 6 in the bottom half of the second, highlighted by Sankovic's grand slam, and then 1 in the bottom half of the third, coming out of a 40-plus minute rain delay. And Trey Fedak, first pitch here to Mason McManus, breaking ball. McManus sends this one high in the air to center field. Michael Whitehurst is there. He'll get under it and make the catch for the first down of the inning. So, as Gary likes to say, first pitch hitting.
And McManus has done that all 3 times that he has been to the plate. He likes that first pitch.
Now 2 for 3. He doubled back in the first inning and scored a run. Singled and scored a run in the second inning. Now Ian Edenfield coming into the plate. Edenfield also 2 for 2. First pitch to Ian. Little one-hopper. 1-0 this half inning being brought to you by the Republic Food Enterprise Center and the Fayette County Community Action Agency.
Like a knuckleball he tried.
Was.
To loft in there.
Some of his breaking balls have been very slow. Now Fedak ready with the 1-0 now to Edenfield. Just want a fastball. Missing low. Count moves to 2-0. Edenfield entered this game with a .333 average and 10 RBIs. Tacked on a couple of ribbies already in this game with a line drive here, but right to the center fielder, Michael Whitehurst. So 2 in Michael's direction. Start this bottom of the fourth inning. 2 up, 2 down. Now Nate Simkoski coming into the plate.
Right place, right time for Whitehurst that time on a well-hit line drive by Edenfield.
I mentioned the Wolverines not scoring in an inning for the first time in the top of the fourth inning. Mustangs trying to avoid being blanked for the first time in an inning here in the bottom of the fourth. And Nate Simkoski with a shot here over the outstretched glove of Andrew Whitehurst into left center field. It's Charles Hatchett with a relay in. And a 2-out single for Nate Simkoski. Another productive at-bat for Nate, who walked in the first inning, had a sac fly RBI in the second, and now a single to left center field here in the fourth. The Mustangs in business again with 2 outs with Chad Petrus coming to the plate.
Laurel Highlands catcher Chad.
Big Simkoski 1 for 1.
Correct. Petrus 1 for 2. Singled last time up after grounding out to end the first inning with a little nubber here to third. Johnson there, throw over to first. It was in time, but the foot of Joe Ward was off the bag.
Throw a little wide by third baseman Johnson, pulled him on the home base side of first base. No chance for Ward to hold the bag. Good call there by the umpire.
How you scoring that one, Gary?
That's got to be an error on the throw.
Okay. E5.
Had plenty of time, just rushed it a little bit.
Alec McLay again on a run as a courtesy runner for Petrus. And now 2 on with 2 outs, and Richie Mihal coming to the plate. Mihal walked and scored a run in the second inning, his first time up, then grounded out 5-3 to end the second inning. So both of his plate appearances came in that second inning where 10 Mustangs came to the plate. Mihal coming twice. They'll take the first pitch here with hops away from detour. Runners advance. Simkoski down to third. Courtesy runner McLay in his second. Mustangs up 5, trying to add on here in the bottom of the fourth. Trey Fedak coming on in relief of Andrew Whitehurst. The Mustangs also on their second pitcher as well as Ian Edenfield on in relief of Mason McManus.
Fedak definitely a low ball pitcher, resulting in a lot of balls in the dirt.
Another low one there to Richie Mihal as the count races up to 2-0.
Good job there by Detour to block that one.
Now Detour out to talk to Fedak here.
As we saw in the last inning, Josh Burns, after the walk, came all the way around to score on 3 wild pitches.
Fedak now set to go again. And Fedak actually, or check that, Burns actually scoring on a Fedak pass ball in the bottom of the third. Fedak long looking now to Detour. 2-0 pitch now to Mihal, and Richie a shot here, getting past Sheldon Johnson in a left field. Mustangs will score 2. Now Mihal on his way to second after the relay was slow coming in from Charles Hatchett.
2 RBIs for Richie Mihal there on a hard shot down the left field line, just out of the reach of third baseman Sheldon Johnson. Plates 2 with 2 outs.
Lead now up to 11-4 for Laurel Highlands. Lead at 7 now.
Left fielder, 10, Arminio.
Correct the scoreboard. They're only showing 10. Should be 11. First pitch from Fedak in for a strike to Tanner Minio. 0-1. Arminio 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out in the second inning. Flew out to Michael Whitehurst in the third. Fedak's next pitch to Herminio, low. Evens up the count at 1-1. 7-run lead for the Mustangs. With Mihal on second. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. A 1-1 count to Tanner Herminio. Now Fedak steps off. And if you're just joining us, we had a 42-minute rain delay earlier, backing this game up a little bit, occurring in the third inning. That pitch in there for a strike. Now 2 strikes on Tanner Herminio.
Great job by Nick Barczyk back at the studio, filling in everything with news, stock report.
Had local, national news, the stock report. We talked a little Mustang baseball here. 2 strikes on Tanner Herminio, trying to keep the inning alive for the Mustangs. That pitch from Fedak is low. Evens things up now at 2-2.
Another good block there by Detour behind the plate. Good fundamentals. Got himself in front of the ball. Had that ball skip right up into his chest protector.
Now under cloudy skies, the sunshine that we had coming out of the rain delay. And sun's now behind the clouds. Another front scheduled to move in later on this evening. 2-2 to Herminio. Another one-hopper going right to Detour. Mihal's going to run, throw down to third, and they got him. So Mihal out at third to end the inning. So Herminio will get a new crack at things in the bottom of the fifth for the Mustangs. Add on, now lead 11-4, plating another 2 runs, and way to the top of the fifth right after this on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
2 runs scored in the bottom of the fourth inning for Laurel Highlands. Moving to the top of the fifth, it's now Laurel Highlands 11 and Woodland Hills 4. To the top of the fifth inning now for the Wolverines. It is right fielder Malik Cunningham.
Here we go with the top half of the fifth inning. Leading off for Woodland Hills, Cunningham looks at a strike at the knees from Ian Edenfield.
The speedy Malik Cunningham. Been on safely in both of his plate appearances so far.
Picked off his first time.
Correct. Walked his second time up.
0-1 offering from Edenfield. That's high and outside for a ball. 1-1.
This half inning may be brought to you by Ford of Uniontown, Route 40, located on top of the hill across from Applebee's. The Trade Me In guys. You said your dog's singing the same song, Let Me Out.
Yeah,
hasn't been out all day today.
1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to second base. Burns will have to charge, quickly make the throw to, and he does get Cunningham.
Wow,
bang, bang play, but did get him by half a step. Burns had to charge on that slow roller through the wet grass infield. Came up quickly with the flip to first baseman McManus for the first out of the inning.
As wet as the infield is right now, defense needs to play a more aggressive, charge more in those situations. Burns got the job done. Over to first in time. Cunningham retired. The speedy Cunningham retired, and now Trey Fedak, who's 0 for 2 coming to the plate.
Struck out in the second, flew out to left field in the third. Strike on the inside corner. Left-handed hitting Trey Fedak.
Fedak started the game as the shortstop for Woodland Hills, now pitching on a relief of Andrew Whitehurst, switching positions the two.
Edenfield working exclusively from the stretch. There's a little looper down the third base line. That'll be out of play up into the throng of fans.
Yes. Crowd's still pretty solid despite the rain delay earlier and some of the inclement weather throughout the course of the late afternoon here in Fayette County.
0-2 now. Edenfield try to get Feedek to chase outside. 1-2.
Woodland Hills will play Gateway in their next game. We mentioned the Mustangs will travel to Greater Latrobe on Monday nights.
Is that a rivalry, Gateway and Woodland Hills, Brian, since Woodland Hills is your alma mater?
Penn Hills was Woodland Hills' main rival when I was growing up.
High and outside, 2-2.
Gateway would be kind of like Laurel Highlands playing Albert Gallatin.
Well,
that makes sense.
That's a rivalry.
Yeah. It's not Laurel Highlands Uniontown. Penn Hills, Woodland Hills was the Laurel Highlands Uniontown game up there.
2-2 pitch from Edenfield. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the second out of the inning recorded on a swinging strikeout.
That rivalry was so intense for basketball games, they actually had to move the Woodland Hills, Penn Hills basketball games to 3:30 after school when I was in school 20 years ago.
You guys were hoodlums or what? You just
No, just
violent activity, or what was that all about?
I don't know. No comment.
Michael Horvath at the plate now for Woodland Hills. There's a little roller back to Ian Edenfield. He'll run it over to McManus, flip him to him for the out. 1-3, 3 up, 3 down for the Wolverines in the fifth. We'll be back with the bottom of the fifth on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
No runs scored at the top of the fifth for Woodland Hills. Moving to the bottom of the fifth, Laurel Highlands 11, Woodland Hills 4.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety. For colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies, painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruth Hart, Calabrese, Stokes, SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Now
we're back for the bottom half of the fifth inning. Mustangs.
And now playing first base for Woodland.
2 up will be Tanner Minio, who was at the plate when Richie Mihal was thrown out at third, followed by Lancaster, Burns, and Sankovic. New catcher in for Woodland Hills, Brian.
Jack Skoronsky, Ben Detour, who was catching, now playing first. Haven't gotten out yet where Joe Ward's at.
That may be Skoronsky for Ward.
Correct.
That's what we will fill in at as the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1 to Herminio with a new count. Just a little bit low, 2-0.
He was up at the plate when Richie Mihal was gunned down at third to end the bottom half of the fourth inning.
A little bit of sprinkle restarting here at Lamon Field as the fastball comes in for a strike. 2-1 now to Tan Herminio here in the fifth.
It's bottom of the fifth being brought to you by the Thomas M. Dolphy Funeral Home of Uniontown. If the Mustangs can manage 3 runs, Gary, it would end the game. 10-run rule.
Herminio trying to get things started. There's a high fly ball. Third baseman Johnson looks like he's under it, and he is for the first out of the inning.
It's rare to see Tanner Herminio 0 for 3 in a game. Records the first out here in the bottom half of the fifth. Then I'll bring up Greg Lancaster.
So Lancaster struck, and we got a pinch hitter. Looks like
16, Evan Boynton.
There's Evan Boynton.
Will bat for Lancaster. I'm sure you'll have re-entry with Lancaster going back out in the field, but Boynton will come to the plate batting left-handed. Looks at the first pitch low and inside for ball 1.
He's been solid at the plate this season, batting .333 with 2 homers and 8 RBIs for the Mustangs. Boynton, a 6'3", 175 senior.
Swing and a miss at a fastball on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. Good fastball there by Vitek.
Again, we saw Voighton with an arm injury against Albert Gallatin last week. Also had a couple of arm issues last season as well.
Fastball outside. 2-1. Looks like he has some sort of a wrap on his right arm.
He was the DH on Monday against McKeesport. Game that Dylan Bonner started on the mound.
2-1 offering. High and inside. 3-1. Voighton, trying to get something started here in the bottom half of the fifth inning for the Mustangs, leading 11-4. There's a ground ball down first base, foul right past Coach Smith. Not much of an effort there by Coach Smith either.
You wonder what the pitching plan is going to be for next week. Of course, you'll have Bonner available on Monday against Greater Latrobe. Also, Greg Lancaster available as well, and you don't know what Voighton's situation is moving forward. Even so, Elijah Fowler gets some time on the mound as well against McKeesport on Monday.
Count remains 3-1. Vitek with the wind and the pitch in there for strike two. I'm sorry, that's strike three. The scoreboard had it 3-1, so that's a strikeout looking to Voighton on a tantalizing curveball there by Vitek.
And the number one position in the Mustangs batting order now has struck out 3 times in the game. Twice from Lancaster, now once from Voighton.
I apologize, had the count wrong.
Josh.
As strike 3 came across looking, Josh Burns will now have an opportunity with 2 outs. Mustangs have been able to score with 2 outs a few times here already this afternoon, as Burns grounded to short in his first opportunity and walked twice.
I think the pitchers will certainly be tested next week. Look for maybe Vecchiola on Tuesday at Franklin Regional.
I would think so. 1-0 pitch to Burns. That's low, ball 2. Josh gone on with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, and that was the opportunity where he scored on 3 wild pitches. 2-0 pitch, ground ball to 3rd. Up with it is Johnson.
Oh.
Foul throw, way off the mark, almost up into our booth. So, ball slipping out of the hands of Johnson might have been the result of a wet grass infield when he got control of the ball through that way high to the home plate side of first base. Allows Burns to get on the air.
Had Jerry ducking behind his camera over there.
Number 9, Travis.
The Mustangs keep the inning alive again, and they've had success with 2 outs.
Sankovic at the plate. There's a ground ball, hot, and nice play there by Detour, playing up on the grass, backhanded it, takes it unassisted at first. That'll do it for the Mustangs in the 5th. They do not score. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Mustangs on top, 11-4 on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
No runs scored at the bottom of the 5th. Moving to the top of the 6th. Score still stands. Laurel Highlands 11, Woodland Hills 4. Number 1, A.J. Whitehurst.
A.J. Whitehurst leading off the top half of the 6th for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, taking ball 1 there from Ian Edenfield on for his 2nd inning of work for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs in relief of Mason McManus. Actually, his 3rd inning right now, isn't it, Gary?
It is.
Yeah, entering his 3rd inning. McManus.
Lancaster back out in center field, re-entering.
Evan Voighton batted for Lancaster last half inning. You have Andrew Whitehurst coming to the plate for the 4th time already this afternoon. On in an air and scored a run in the first inning, walked in the second, grounded out 1-3 in the third, and sends this one foul. The Mustangs up 11-4 over Woodland Hills, a 7-run lead as we enter this top of the 6th, and a 2-1 count now on Andrew Whitehurst. At infield out of the stretch. 2-1 pitch on the way, and therefore a strike evens up the count at 2-2. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay here on the South Union TV side, and Nick Barczyk back in our Uniontown Hospital studios. Next pitch to Whitehurst, and this a line shot into center field in front of Greg Lancaster. So leadoff single to start the top half of the 6th for Andrew Whitehurst and the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Nice looking freshman for Woodland Hills.
For sure. And the son of Woodland Hills head coach Larry Whitehurst. Larry with both of his sons playing for him this year. Michael is senior and Andrew a freshman. Among the top 3 in the batting lineup for the Wolverines. And now Charles Hanchett coming to the plate. At infield out of the stretch. The Mustangs leading by 7. Hanchett swings at the first pitch, pops it up to shallow center. It'll actually be Josh Burns, the second baseman, backing up and making the grab for the first out of the inning. So Hanchett retired. Hanchett grounded into a fielder's choice in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second, struck out looking in the 4th, now popping up to Burns here in the 6th. And I'll bring up Michael Whitehurst. Whitehurst grounded out 2-3 in the first inning, on in an air in the second, and grounded out 3-1. The ground ball went to McManus with Edenfield covering the bag. So 1 on, 1 out. Michael from the left side of the plate takes ball 1 there from Edenfield.
Nice play there by Josh Burns. That high pop-up kind of drifted on him out into center field, and he was able to maintain his concentration and pull that in for the first out of the inning.
Now the 1-0 from Edenfield, high and outside. So they got the grill going out there as well, Gary, grilling out some burgers and dogs behind the snack bar.
Might have to hit that on the way out.
Looking good. 2-0 now. Edenfield to Whitehurst. Fastball on the way, nubbed foul. Of course, just over a week, the Mustangs will take on the Uniontown Red Raiders in Laurel Highlands' former home, Hutchinson Field in Hopwood. Should be a fun night. It'll be a 6 o'clock start. 5:45 Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show here on the radio side. Always fun when the Mustangs and the Red Raiders get together, especially down in Hopwood.
It's always a great atmosphere down there at Hutchinson. As Jerry zooms in on the hamburgers, I think he's hungry.
He's hungry. And a long day for all of us here after the rain delay earlier. That pitch missing on the outside. Any steaks on that grill, Jerry? He was in tight. Edenfield regrouping, count at 3-1. Mustangs up 7 at 11-4. 1 out as we work here in the top half of the 6th. Menfield's next pitch, swing and a miss there from Whitehurst. Count now moves to
3-2, I believe.
3-2, yep.
Edenfield, little off speed on that, slowed it down slightly. Had Whitehurst out in front.
Now to finish him off, his brother Andrew on first. Now the wind blowing over this way. I smell a little of the barbecue. Payoff pitch. Missing low for ball 4. Now, but both Whitehurst is on. Andrew now moving down to second. Michael on first. Still 1 out here in the inning, and Ben Detour coming to the plate.
Good-looking hitter for the Wolverines. Big triple back in the first. Flew out again on a hard hit ball to right field in the second and singled sharply in the 4th.
Wolverines trying to cut into this 7-run Laurel Highlands lead. Edenfield's first pitch here to Ben Detour. Breaking ball. Detour sends it hard on the ground to Burns. Could be 2. Flips to Sank for 1. Over to first in time to McManus to end the inning. So a 4-6-3 double play gets the Mustangs out of the top half of the sixth defensively. Wolverines unable to pick up a run as we move to the bottom of the sixth. 11-4 Mustangs over the Wolverines here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, the Trib Live High School Sports Network. It's the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
No runs toward the top of the sixth. Moving to the bottom of the sixth. 11-4 Laurel Highlands.
Laurel Highlands leading Woodland Hills 11-4 as we move to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Mason McManus, Ian Edenfield, and Nate Zimkoski due up for the Mustangs.
Watch this first pitch hitting. No, couldn't hit that
Nope,
one.
low in the dirt. 1-0 to Mason McManus, and the Mustangs actually loosening up Travis Sankovic. He has not pitched so far this season. The Mustangs trying to save as many innings as they can with 5 games on the docket next week. McManus swinging here and sending it foul. Even up the count at 1-1. Grill's really going up there now, Gary.
They're lining up.
Yep. Make sure that fire doesn't get out of control. 1-1. I think McManus went around. He did. Count at 1-2. Hopefully their fire extinguishers are up to date up there. Garrett Barry says they are. Now 2 strikes on Mason McManus.
I'll tell you, he is really hungry.
What you talk about in a 7-run game. 2-strike pitch, breaking ball. Mason sends it high in the air. A little moon ball there to shorts. Andrew Whitehurst under it. Makes the grab for the first down of this bottom half of the sixth. Ian Edenfield coming to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. Couple of RBIs.
Hit the ball hard all 3 times.
Number 24.
Flew out or lined out to center field his last at bat on a very hard hit ball.
Fedak will wind and fire the first pitch. It's a breaking ball, missing low for ball 1. Trey Fedak, the second pitcher that Woodland Hills has used so far this afternoon, coming on in relief of Andrew Whitehurst. 1-0 here, brings the heat. Edenfield sends it on the ground, and it eats up Sheldon Johnson.
That one took a wicked hop off the edge of the grass. Can't hardly blame Johnson for that one.
Give Edenfield a single?
I think it was a bad hop, so I can't fault Johnson on that one.
I'll give Edenfield a hit. His third of the afternoon. Courtesy runner Bana on again for the pitcher Edenfield, and that'll bring up Nate Zimkoski.
Courtesy runner for Laurel Highlands, number 6, Dylan Vaughn.
Fedak now out of the stretch. First pitch to Zimkoski, fouled off. Counted 0-1. And 11-4 if you're just joining us. Laurel Highlands over Woodland Hills. Big inning for the Mustangs was the second. And they scored 6, including a grand slam from Travis Sankovic.
And Travis will probably be upset because he's only 1 for 3.
Correct. Did have a walk, though, as well, and scored a run there. So 2 runs scored in the game, 4 RBIs. Brings the average down a little bit. Came into the game the .690 average. And he might get an opportunity to pitch the top half of the 7th.
Zimkoski looking at a 1-1 count.
And Zimkoski will send it here on the ground, but foul. And Coach DeBerry a little trouble with that one.
Made an effort, though.
He made an effort. Tried a little bit. Now 2 strikes on Zimkoski. Count at 1-2. Fedak getting the signs from Jack Skoronsky. Breaking ball, and Zimkoski sends it high in the air to shallow center field. It'll be the shortstop, Andrew Whitehurst, backing up, making the grab for the second out of the inning. A couple balls hit in Andrew's direction here in the top half of the sixth. This half inning being brought to you by the Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. The Centers for Rehab Services. Relief is closer than you think.
Mustangs having a little bit of trouble getting on top of those off-speed curveballs this inning.
Chad Petrus at the plate. The courtesy runner Bana on first. That one lone in the dirt. Another one hopper. That'll allow Bana get down to second safely.
No hesitation there from Bana. As soon as he sees that ball in the dirt, he's off.
So Bana into second. 1-0 count now to Petrus. Reached on an error and scored a run last time up on a single bank in the second inning. Grounded out to end the first. Sends this one hard on the ground and through on the left side. Bana's going to round third. Here comes the throw, not in time, as Dylan Bana scores the 12th Mustang run of the afternoon. Petrus rounding second, and will head back to the bag.
RBI single for Petrus. That ball went into left field, and shallow coming up with it was Hanchett. He cut loose a rocket to home plate, but way high. Hit the backstop, and that allows Petrus to scoot into second on the throw.
McLay now on as a courtesy runner for the catcher Petrus. Richie Mihal now at the plate. The lead at 8. Mustangs with one on and
number 12, Rich.
2 outs. Mihal at the plate. First pitch to Mihal on the inside for ball 1. You folks on the radio side, the TV replay of this game on the South Union Township Sports Network will be Sunday night at 6 o'clock on Atlantic Broadband Channel 17, Armstrong Channel 61. Fedak's next pitch to Mihal is low. Mihal, productive afternoon. Walk and scored a run in his first at-bat in the second inning. Second at-bat in the second, saw him ground out 5-3, but picked up a 2 RBI single to left back in the fourth. Fedak's next pitch here to Mihal. Hard on the ground, but foul down the third baseline. Mustangs could actually end the game here in the bottom of the sixth by plating 2 more runs. The lead right now at 8. 10-run rule would be in effect if they would go up 14-4. Now with 2 outs in the inning, we'll see if the Mustangs can keep it alive. Tanner Minio due up next. That pitch missing there to Mihal. And 2-1 on the scoreboard. Is that correct, Gary?
It is.
Okay. Just want to double check. Fedak long looking this time. Now the 2-1 pitch here to Mihal. Breaking ball, and Richie, a little nubber, well positioned, will drop in front of Charles Hatchett out and left. The courtesy runner McLay on his way to the plate. He'll score, and Richie Mihal down to second. That was an errant throw coming in there from Hatchett out and left.
He uncorks that ball from shallow left field the second time, and it once again sails all the way to the backstop over the head of the catcher, just not able to get that ball down. He has a strong arm, you could tell, but not accurate on those 2 attempts.
If Tanner Minio can drive in Richie Mihal here, that'll do it. Fedak trying to stay loose.
Number 3, 10, Armenio.
Armenio 0 for 3, trying to snap out of it here and end this one. Mustangs up 9 now at 13-4. Armenio, first pitch swinging there, sends it foul in front of the Mustang dugout, or the Wolverines dugout, excuse me. 0-1 to Tanner Armenio. Out of the stretch, Fedak brings the heat, and Tan rips it foul.
Hands out in front, just pulling those balls foul. There's 2 balls actually in foul territory down the left field line. No one has retrieved. That could cause some confusion.
Correct.
There's
2 balls in play.
Could be 3 if he hits one
correct,
down the line.
Here we go again. 2-strike pitch to Herminio. Rips this one, and that is fair. Oh, they ruled it foul. Wow, it was close.
Looked like it might have hit the line.
I thought it did too. Wow. That's on the opposite side from where we're calling the game from, down the third base line. I thought that was it.
That could have rolled right
by the other 2.
The other 2 balls.
I don't think it would have mattered because you had Mihal scoring easily, I think, from that spot. Especially on the slow, wet grass. And here we go again. Herminio, another good shot to left center. This one will be nabbed by Charles Hatchett to end the inning. So we'll head to the top of the 7th. Now 13-4 Mustangs over the Wolverines here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
2 runs scored in the bottom of the 6th for Laurel Highlands. Moving now to the top of the 7th. It is Laurel Highlands 13, Woodland Hills 4. Rich Mihal. The right field.
Welcome back for the top of the 7th inning. We got a wholesale change in the defensive lineup for the Mustangs, Brian.
We have Travis Sankovic now pitching. He'll be the 3rd Mustang pitcher of the afternoon. Mason McManus playing first. Josh Burns remains at second. Nate Simkoski now the shortstop. Tanner Minio was in left. He's now playing 3rd. Richie Mihal was in right. He's now in left. Nate Edenfield, who was the last Mustang pitcher, is now out in right field. Got all that?
Got it.
Still have Lancaster in center field. Petrus still catching. This will be Sankovic's first appearance on the mound this season.
Leading off for the Wolverines, number 15, Sheldon Johnson.
Sheldon Johnson leading off for Woodland Hills here in the top of the 7th. He is 2 for 2 with a walk.
Sankovic has a pretty good fastball.
He has a great arm, as we've always seen from shortstop. There's a shot down to first base, grabbed by McManus. Wow, backhand stab by Mason McManus. Outstanding play at first base.
A great job just to knock that one down. It's a nice hit there from Sheldon Johnson. So
3 unassisted.
Correct.
And first out of the 7th. Just 2 pitches for Sankovic.
And if you're tuning in for Pirates baseball on the radio side, it'll come your way next. Bucks and the Cardinals tonight from PNC Park. First pitch scheduled at 7:05. Might even have you there in time.
Looks like a pinch hitter for Woodland Hills.
Got a number on him there, Gary?
Try to zoom in there for Jerry. Looks like number 4, yes.
Now batting for Woodland Hills.
Swing and a miss at the second pitch, 0-2 to the pinch hitter, number 4. Who is that, Bear? Jordan Nubay.
Okay.
You're being told.
Didn't have him on my roster.
Lubay. Lubay, as he looks at a high fastball over his head for a 1-2 count. One out here in the top of the 7th. Mustangs trying to shut the door on a 10-0 start. Fastball just outside, 2-2 now.
That might be the hardest pitch I've seen a Mustang throw all season.
From the stretch, 2-2 pitch, strike 3 called on the outside corner as Lubay goes down looking.
He likes that fastball, though.
Second out of the inning brings up Malik Cunningham.
I like using him, though, in a spot like not only this, but even in a close game. And you need somebody to come in and relieve. Yeah, closer role, yep.
First pitch to Cunningham. He looks at strike one on a fastball.
It's like all fastballs from him.
We're going to clock that in the mid-80s.
And they're coming in there pretty good.
0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike two, another fastball. Zankovic showing off.
Looks like it's having fun out there, too.
0-2 pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Strike three, 1-2-3 inning for Travis Zankovic in relief. Ends it for the Mustangs.
For the top of the seventh inning for Woodland Hills.
And that'll do it.
Laurel
Highlands Mustangs 13, Woodland Hills 4. We'll be back to tell you all about it here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
In any endeavor, experience is probably the most important factor, but it's got to be the right kind of experience. Experience in the community where the case is tried, where the jurors live, where the judges work. We've been doing this since 1976 at Davis and Davis. That's a long time.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Wrapping things up here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Mustangs victorious again, 13-4 this afternoon over the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And this afternoon's game has been brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring the Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and everyone at CUTV, Gary Smith and his staff. Gary Frankhauser alongside Brian Morozak, Jerry Dupay on the camera. Another South Union Township Sports Network presentation. Laurel Highlands 13, Woodland Hills 4. Good night, everyone.